Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Toned and Transformed podcast, the place where we sculpt bodies and strengthen our identity in Christ. And today's episode is a really excited one. It is going to be more fitness based, but it is a question that so many of you ask yourselves, and it's one of the one of the questions that I actually get the most. We are going to talk about the belly and especially belly fat. And the topic we're going to look at is, can you spot reduce belly fat? Because this is honestly a topic that I asked myself years ago because my genetics are not flat belly genetics. I used to have thin arms and legs like this, and I used to have all the fat around my belly. So I don't have those hourglass genetics. I built them. And even though I was building that, for the longest time I thought you cannot spot reduce belly fat. And maybe you've asked yourself or you've tried crunches in the past and doing exercises to reduce the belly fat, and then somebody who was more experienced in fitness broke your bubble and told you you cannot spot reduce belly fat. The body chooses where the fat goes first and where it goes last. So if you've heard this, definitely stay here because I have encouraging news for you. So while it is technically right that you cannot spot reduce belly fat, there are ways to spot reduce belly fat, and we're going to talk about the one wrong way to do it and the three right ways. So let's start off with the one wrong way. If you're trying to reduce belly fat by targeting it with exercises, with crunches, and I don't know how many ab exercises, you can train your abs all day long. You will not get rid of your belly fat. And the worst thing is if you, for example, try to target the fat on the side, the love handles, and you try to do exercises like holding a weight and doing like this, or the machine where you're turning like this, and all of those side ab exercises, this is even gonna make it worse because you cannot spot reduce it by exercising the place. The only thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna grow your muscle underneath the fat, and as the muscle grows, especially on the side, it's gonna push the fat to the side and make you even wider around your waist. And as a woman, this is probably what you want to avoid. We do not want to have a wide waist. We do not want to look like a block. We want to have a feminine sculpted hourglass body look. Or at least if you're here, you know that I'm all about sculpting your body, have a feminine body, hourglass bodies. And so I'm guessing that this is what you want. So, first myth debunked. You don't spot reduced belly fat with exercises, and you should avoid doing side abs if you wanna keep your waist tight or get it tight. But now to the interesting stuff, and we're gonna talk about the ways that we can spot reduced belly fat. And to introduce you to that, as I told you, I don't have flat belly genetics. So years ago, I would have been the one who would have told you you can do nothing about it. It's just when your body decides to let go of the fat. And this is what I believed for a lot of years. But with further formations and learning more and trying more, I learned a few what I call hacks that so many people in fitness just don't consider. Because in fitness, and I've talked about it last episode, it's so often it's just do more, train more, eat less, and so on. And people think like training more and eating less is the way to lose fat, is the way to sculpt your belly. But if you've been doing this for a while, and you see that maybe you see some progress, but your belly is still here, we need to change the method. It's not that you cannot do anything, it is that you're doing the wrong thing. So the the three things, main things that you can do to spot reduce your belly fat, and then I'm gonna talk about it more in detail, are A, reducing stress. And by that, I don't mean you have to move to Bali and quit your job and so on. There are other ways that you can reduce fat without making major life changes. But reduce stress because cortisol, stress, or stress hormone, is highly linked to belly fat. It causes inflammation, which makes this area even bigger. So, more stress, more belly fat. Number two that we're gonna talk about is how to train your core correctly so you can create a corset waist, not by reducing the fat around it, but by training the muscle so it helps like tighten up the middle. And number three that we're gonna talk about is the gut, because the gut is the key to your health. From the gut, there are so many things flowing, and if you have an inflamed or a leaky gut, no healthy nutrient that you're eating and no amount of exercise will help you reduce that belly fat. So let's dive first into reduce stress. So as I already said, or as you might be thinking, you might be thinking like, Lina, I have a full-time job, I have kids, I have a business or whatever, I have so many things to do, so many places to be. There is no way. Like if I have to reduce stress, then I can forget getting a flat belly. This is what many people think. But there's so many easy, small ways to reduce belly fat. And you can do things with nutrition, you can do things with the way you're training. I'm gonna give you a few clues. Like one of them is the way that you train. If you think that doing HIIT classes and sweating and being out of breath and all of this is gonna help you reduce your belly fat, you are so wrong, because this actually produces more stress in your body, and more stress equals more belly fat. And I think I've mentioned it in the past episode, like I've had clients, they were training 6 times a week. Even the amount of times has to relate to how your lifestyle is, how much you have going on in your life. So I've had clients, when they came to me, like before they came to me, they were training like 6 times a week. And then I reduced their training to 3 times a week. And in most cases, I upped their food, and they ended up losing fat, losing weight, and especially losing belly fat. And as controversial as this sounds, it's so logical, because by reducing the amount of training, and in a lot of cases also the intensity of training, they reduce their stress hormones, because they were already busy in their everyday life, and then they were putting more stress on their bodies. And by reducing that stress, the metabolism could work, the body could work, and less stress, less belly fat. So sometimes, or most of the times, less is more. So this is an easy way, and it's not only an easy way, it's a way that takes off the overwhelm and that gives you even more time to enjoy your free time. You don't have to spend hours in the gym. You can even spend less hours and have less belly fat. So it's an easy way. And also with nutrition, whether you take the right amount of supplements, because some things we cannot get by food anymore. We need to supplement it. Whether how you eat, even the order in which you eat has a big impact on your belly fat. For example, if you only eat a croissant every morning, you will spike your blood sugar levels. This will cause stress, this will cause inflammation, and this will cause more belly fat to store. And with that, I'm not saying you should not have the croissant, but if you would have eggs before or a protein shake before, And then the croissant, the story looks completely different, because then the protein that you have as a foundation, it prevents your body, your blood sugar from spiking, and this is less stress during the day. And this is something easy where you would not even have to say no to the croissant. So those are just two hacks, but there's so many more things that you can do. As for the physical stress, there's so many hacks that are so easy to implement, and that you feel like you're actually doing less than doing more, but you're being so much more productive. This is the physical part. But then we also have to talk about the psychological part, and about our soul and mind, because we are body, mind, and spirit. And our body actually does not differentiate if the stress comes from physical activity, or from physical exhaustion, or from mental exhaustion. So when we carry things with us, like fears, stress, and so many, fears, resentments, and so many things, this causes stress hormones in our bodies, and this lets us store more belly fat. And the thing is, if we would want to, we would have something to worry every day. Like, look out there in the world, there's so much going on, and also in our personal lives. Like, we cannot control things. There might be outer things that happen and that influence us, and this creates stress. So for that, the solution, the only real and long-lasting solution that is effective and long-lasting, is our Creator, Jesus Christ. In the Bible, he says, "Come to me, all who are heavy burdened, and I will give you rest." And it sounds like a cute quote, but it is so true. If you believe in Christ, and if you surrender to Him, if you start to build a relationship with Him, if you pray, if you read the Bible, if you communicate with Him, and He starts showing you who He is, and He will give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. The promise of Him is not that He will lift the weight from us. It doesn't mean that we will have an easygoing life and that everything will just flow and everything will run well and that you will just make the money and your kids will behave and all of this. This is not what He promises, because we live in a fallen world. But He promised you to go through that storm with you, to lead you safely through that storm, and to give you peace in that. And that's a peace that surpasses all understanding. And when we really learn to feel and to see the love that your Creator has for you, when you really learn to grasp it, then things like anxiety are just not there. Even if things are shaky, if you lose your job or whatever, like, it can be there, but He will give you rest in that, and He will give you peace. And then people will look at you and say, like, how can you be so calm and still so joyful, even though all those things are happening to you? And the response is Christ. There's literally no other thing I can tell you but that. You can try to meditate, you can try to do yoga or whatever. None of this is going to help you long term, and none of this is going to keep you resilient long term. Also, what I want to talk about when it comes to stress is that there are hidden things that build stress in you, which are resentments, for example, anger, things that we haven't worked through. And resentment starts building up by when people hurt you, or and then if you think about how they hurt you and you keep thinking about it, and how they did you wrong, it builds up resentment. And in Christ, we're called to love others, also the ones that are hard to love. And this is something that is so hard for us humans and nearly, I would say, impossible if we don't have Christ. But the thing is, if you have Him in your life, if you surrender to Him, then you get the power of His Spirit, and it's the Holy Spirit. And then He will help you handle those situations, and He will suddenly give you love for people that you had resentment towards. And those things just heal you from the inside, just let you live a calm and peaceful life. And even though the circumstances might be differently, and this ultimately reduces stress hormones and also shows in your body. And I am the best example for that. Like literally, since I'm walking with Christ, staying in shape and keeping a flat belly has felt like a walk in the park for me. Before, it would always feel like work and feel like uneasy. Like I knew how to do it, but it would always be striving. And now it's like it's just so easy because I can be in my feminine. I can surrender. I can give up control because in this life we cannot control everything. So this is the biggest advice that I give you for reducing stress. Now we move on to point number 2 that helps us snatch the waist, which is training your core the right way. We want to train the deep core muscle, the transverse abdominis, because we have different layers in our belly area, and this is the deepest layer, and it goes around your core like a corset. So there's 3 ways we can activate this, and if you're in the video, you can see it a bit, and if not, try to imagine it or go to the video or send me a DM because I have a video where I'm explaining this step by step how to do it and where you can practice it. You can practice it standing, sitting, laying, in every position. And when you practice it in a neutral position, then you can do it with a plank and start strengthening your core like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate 3 things. First, and I call them the 3 kings. First, we're going to activate the pelvic floor. And all those 3 things you cannot see from the outside. It's just a small tension because it's deep muscle. It's hidden muscle that you don't see, but very important muscle. So pelvic floor would be, you imagine that you have to go pee and you have to hold it back. Like imagine you have to go pee and now hold it back. Just this. Then the second one is the transverse abdominis, the deepest layer of the core. So you imagine that you have a zip that you want to lock, like you're going from down up, and you pull your belly button towards your spine. And this is the second activation. You can try it and you can put your finger on your lower belly and feel it. The best thing is if you try it while you're laying, then you're really gonna feel it. This is the second activation. And now the third activation is you're gonna make yourself long in the spine, so you're gonna stretch yourself in the spine. The head has to be aligned with the spine, and you're gonna imagine that somebody's pulling that and making it long. Those are the 3 activations. Again, if it's not so easy for you to imagine by listening, DM me on Instagram at fitbellina or send me an email, info@getfitbellina.ch, and I will send you a video for free where I explain this activation, because this is the activation that you need to train your core correctly so you get a tight waist. So when you activate those things, you're training your you're training your deep core muscle, the corset muscle, and this will give you a corset effect. Now you can practice it with planks, then with unstable planks, and with all of the ab exercises. And the important thing here is that when you're doing ab exercises, you do not feel your lower back, not even a tiny bit. You have to feel only your abs. You do not feel your lower back because most of you feel the lower back, and this is a signal that you are not training your core muscle, you are tensing your lower back. This gives you lower back pain, and it also gives you a posture that will make your belly stand out more. So practice this and every day, and it will give you that hourglass look. If you combine it with the other things, because if you have a lot of stress, you can do all of this, all you want of this, but you will just store the belly fat. Now, to point 3, and this is crucial, this is a foundation, is gut health. When I learned about gut health, it was the game changer. I learned about it in a course, and basically we have our gut, and then there's the gut walls. And then in these walls, we can have tiny holes. It can be open, and this is called a leaky gut. What it means is when we eat things, we get the food through our intestines, through our gut until they're pushed out. So if a gut is healthy, it will absorb the good nutrients that we need, the vitamins, the proteins, and everything, and push out the toxins. But if you have holes there, if it's open, if it's leaky, the toxins will go through your gut into your blood system, and this causes inflammation, it causes bloating, it will harm your immune system. So if you get sick a lot, it might be having to do something with your gut. It also impacts your mood, it impacts your concentration, and it impacts your belly area. And if this is damaged, then you bet your metabolism is not working well. Your fat loss will not succeed well. So this is one very foundation that we have to lock in and that we have to have. And we do this by a certain diet and by a certain method, which when I learned about it, I tried it myself because I like to experiment things first. And I just saw how I lost like 4 centimeters in 4 weeks, and I felt lighter and more energized. And I was like, wow, I have to try this with other people, because I was like, is it just me or does it work for other people? So I've tried it with my clients. I convinced them to do that. And then after I saw them succeed one after the other, and not even only in reducing their belly fat, but also reducing period pain from the point of having to take 3 painkillers per day to none, and so many other things, I said, I need to give more people access to it. And this is how my Flat Belly Reset program was born, which a lot of people have gone successfully through. I've hosted the challenge for the first time at the beginning of the year. I've had multiple women in it. I was coaching them with live morning sessions, which also had to do with mindset and with the right core training. And I coached them inside of Telegram. And I went just on that whole journey with them. And we created such a momentum. Like as a group, it was insane. Like the results were insane. People were losing 5 centimeters in 4 weeks. They were losing weight. They were feeling lighter. They were feeling better. But also their self-confidence was growing in a crazy way. Like really the results have been amazing. And one of them even lost weight while she was on vacation, where most people gain weight. They were losing and specifically fat around their belly and keeping the rest, and they were just feeling so much better and not hungry because they didn't have to restrict themselves with the amount. So it was a crazy good challenge, and the group support, that's what push them. And this has been an incredible journey, and I have seen so many transformations, so many things happening. And the best thing is, this flat belly reset diet is not only a quick fix, but as it fixes your gut walls, it fixes your metabolism, and it keeps working fast. So even when you're introducing all of the foods again, your body will still keep burning fat. And this is the best thing. It's long lasting. Like, people tell me it lasts for months. And now you may be thinking, but Lena, I feel healthy. I don't think I have a leaky gut. But the thing is, 90% of the people have a leaky gut because it is so impacted by today's life. It's impacted by medication, antibiotics, certain nutrients, stress, overtraining. There's so many things in today's society going on that almost everybody has a leaky gut. The good thing is it is reversible, and this is what we're doing with the flat belly reset. We are healing the gut, we are restoring the gut walls. And it has nothing to do with a detox, because if you do some juice cleanse or detox, you're only cleaning the inside. But it doesn't help you cleaning the inside if the walls are the problem. So this is what we're doing inside, or the flat belly reset, and this is the science-based information on that. And this is why it works so incredibly good. And on Monday, I will be starting the next challenge round with the next round of women. Some of them are joining for the second time because it was so good. Some are new, and I would love to have you inside, because the motivation and the transformation inside is just insane. I will be doing the flat belly reset diet myself. I love to do it. I've been doing it since I've learned it for like 2 years ago. I've been doing it twice a year, because with every time you do it, your body works easier and better, and it's getting better and better. And also because, like, with vacation and things that we eat outside, the gut always gets damaged a little bit. So it's always good to keep restoring it. So I am a huge advocate of this diet. This is a must in my life, in my body, and this is something that I knew I needed to share with the world. I am so excited for the round that we're starting on Monday. It's gonna be incredible. And if you wanna look toned for the summer, if you wanna reduce centimeters and keep them off, because I'm gonna guide you how to keep them off while staying flexible, while being able to go to restaurants and so on. So if you want to learn all of those things, you need to join the Flat Belly Reset Challenge. You are gonna love it. It's something it's an investment for life, actually. This thing is so game-changing. So if you want to join this amazing group, and if you want to have an amazing transformation, losing centimeters, especially around your waist, if for a long time you've been wanting to spot reduce belly fat, this is the time now. So you can DM me on Instagram, or you can click on the link in my bio and look at it and register there, or send me an email. You can reach out to me in any way if you have more questions on that, but I would love to have you inside. So check it out. And what I forgot is, the best thing is, if you follow me on Instagram, you've heard me talking about my bot, Miss L, who is your personal food assistant, who will give you meal options in no time. In a few seconds, you can tell her, I'm busy all day, I don't have time to cook, I will be there and there. What can I eat to still to reduce my belly? And it is adapted to your body type, because you can upload a picture and everything, and it will my bot, Miss L, will tell you exactly what you can do, what you can buy outside, or you tell her, I have those and those and those ingredients at home, what can I cook? So it takes the guesswork off you and it helps you, and it's like your brain. You don't have to think about it, it thinks for you. And this I'm also creating for the flat belly reset. It will be, my bot will be called Harmony, and she will be specialized in gut health. So you will not be out of ideas, even though I will be giving you recipes and ideas and so on, but she will be your additional helper. You will not be out of ideas on what to eat during the flat belly reset. So she is the brand new bonus that I have to that, and that makes this whole experience just so much more easy and valuable. So you can tell I am totally in love with that. So with that being said, those were my 3 points on how to spot reduce belly fat. We repeat: reducing stress, ideally with the help of your creator. And the second one was training your deep core muscle the correct way. And number 3 was resetting your gut. So I wish you an amazing weekend. I will see you next week or in the flat belly reset. Bye bye.